Here we go. Hello, welcome, Motor Learning class. I have a special guest here with us. This is Shane Smith. And so first thing, Shane, is just maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Shane Smith. I'm a high school phys ed teacher in Winnipeg. And I've been coaching for a lot of years, volleyball. And recently I've got a little more involved with some higher level coaching. I'm working at the U of W with the Westman men's team. And the past summer I spent some time with the women's national volleyball team doing some scouting and some game planning and stats for them. So I finished up a Master's of Education degree with your Prof. Mike here a couple summers ago. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about that.
Actually, I mentioned in class the other day about you and some of the stories, so maybe just tell a little bit about how you stumbled upon this whole motor learning thing, and how did you find it?
Well, Mike and I spent a couple summers out in Victoria working through some courses for this master's degree, and one of the courses was a motor learning.
Skill acquisition, I think it was called.
Skill acquisition was the name of the course, and we had this prof, great lady, Jerry Van Gene. Shout out to her. She was awesome. But I went into that course as a real doubter, and I think at the time I've been coaching for a number of years, and I felt like I had all the answers, and what I was doing was the right way, and so we get into this motor learning course, and essentially she's telling us that what we've all been doing is wrong, and there's this research out there that I wasn't really aware of, and so I was a doubter for a good portion of that course, and
until the last day, I think it was.
Yeah, it was just about the last day, and I just happened to read an article. I don't want to tell you guys this, I might have been reading it for Mike to help him with an assignment that was probably overdue, but just something in that article, kind of the light bulb went off, and everything made sense, and the science is there, the research is there to back all these principles of motor learning, and since that time I think it's really changed the way that I coach, opened my eyes to a number of different strategies and methods and following the principles, and it's really benefited me as a coach and the athletes that I've worked with.
So maybe you could tell a little bit about how typical practice of yours has changed over the past 5-10 years.
Yeah, I think, like I said, in my time before this, where I felt like I knew what I was talking about, I didn't really understand the purpose of a practice, and the purpose of training was to prepare yourself for competition. So I think, in simpler terms, I practiced to be good at practice, if that makes sense. And so we did a lot of blocked type drills, repetitive things that kids got good at really fast, but there was very little transfer to what they would see in a competition. And so, as a volleyball coach, maybe I'd get them to pass back and forth, and they bump the ball and today they did it 10 times in a row, tomorrow they could do it 20, and I'd pat myself on the back. That was a really good coach, but we get into a game and we couldn't pass the serve coming over the net, and through all this kind of journey through motor learning, I've learned that there's specific cues in a competition, and if you're not training kids in practice to respond to those cues correctly, then what you're practicing is not going to help you, and there's very little transfer. So now, with what I know, I would say my practices are very ugly, and if you walked into my gym, there's mistakes all over the place, there's sometimes a lack of flow, but those are things that kids or athletes confront in competition. You need to be able to deal with those challenges and work through them. So my practice would look uglier now than they did before, but the transfer into competition has improved greatly.
And that's good timing, because we've been talking about random blocked, and even some of the videos on Train Ugly are kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a great site. I've been keeping an eye on Train Ugly there as well.
Yeah. And I guess last thing is, any future advice for motor learning students, teachers, coaches, I think there's one doctor, one dentist, and
Holy moly.
maybe some
They're
strength
more
coaches
qualified than
and
we are.
therapists, physiotherapists, all that. So wide variety of students. But any advice?
Yeah, I think kind of to go back to the story there of how I stumbled upon this, I went through a lot of my coaching career pretty confident that I had all the answers, and it was kind of that day where I became a learner and realized that I don't have all the answers, and became much more open-minded to other ideas and other things. And I've stopped trying to learn new drills and new techniques, and will spend my time watching other coaches and talking to the coaches and trying to learn more from those people. And I think if you can be kind of have the mindset of being a learner and trying to get as much as you can out of other people and all the resource you can, then you can become that much better at whatever you're trying to do.
Super. Thanks for
Thanks,
your
buddy.
time. It was great. Done.